In the in a previous lecture, we looked at the demand for individual goods and services. In this short lecture, we will look at aggregate demand and how economists think about aggregate demand. Aggregate demand is the sum of all products in an economy. It is equivalent to the expenditure view of gross domestic product. However, unlike individual demand curves, aggregate demand is determined by the price level and not by individual prices of goods and services. Before seeing how aggregate demand curves are created, let's take a moment to review how economists like to create graphs. First, the horizontal axis, or the axis that runs back and forth, measures the amount of GDP. This is often labeled with the letter Y for income. The letter Y is selected because the letter I, as you may recall, is used to indicate investment in the formula for GDP. You may also recall is that as we move from left to right, the numbers get larger. Thus, as one moves from left to right, GDP increases. The vertical axis, or the axis that runs up and down the slide, this is the price level and may be abbreviated with the letter P for price level. You may also recall that as we move from the bottom to the top, the numbers get larger. Thus, as one moves upward from the bottom, the price level increases. Now let's look and see how economists derive the aggregate demand curve. Now for creating the aggregate demand curve. If the price level is high, individuals are able to purchase less goods with a given income. So at P1, the individual may only be able to purchase Y1 worth of goods. We're going to put a little dot there. If the price level drops by 1/2, individuals will be able to purchase more goods and services than they could at a higher price level. So at P2, individuals may be able to purchase Y2 worth of goods. And we'll put a dot there. If the price level drops to P3, they will be able to purchase even more goods and services. I'll put a little dot there. Now if all three dots are connected, they will form a line which is the aggregate demand curve. One final part about aggregate demand curves. Aggregate demand curves are given the name AD followed by a number. The number indicates how recent that aggregate demand curve is relative to any other aggregate demand curve. On this slide, the aggregate demand curve is given the name AD0 to indicate that it is the first aggregate demand curve.